Good afternoon, students. Today we are going to begin the first lecture regarding business studies related to the very first chapter, that is nature and purpose of business. In this particular context, we are going to discuss that what are the different type of activities that are being conducted, that are being performed by the people, by the intellects, by the employees of the organization in order to conduct the business. We will further discuss what is business, what are the types of business, what are the types of human activities, how they are classified and segregated in different type of activities, how they are categorized as economic and non-economic. We will differentiate between the economic activities and the non-economic activities. So far the human being is concerned, the human element is concerned, human beings are considered to be the assets of the organization, resources of the organization, and they are required to perform some or different type of activities for satisfying their needs. In order to satisfy the personal needs, the people, the human being, are a part of different type of activities in their day-to-day life. So basically, the human beings perform different type of activities in order to pursue different occupations with a common intention, with a common perception, that is to earn livelihood and to get psychological satisfaction, mental satisfaction for their personal satisfaction. Now, when we are talking about the activities which are conducted, which are performed by different human beings, these are undertaken in different areas for the sake of psychological satisfaction, for the sake of earning livelihood, earning income, then these type of activities are considered, are known as human activities. So some of these activities which are undertaken, which are conducted for earning profit are categorized as economic point of view. And when the activities are based on or done or performed with an intention of psychological satisfaction, self-satisfaction, then these are categorized in a different category that is known as non-economic perception. So here the human activities, either they are based on intentions to generate profit, or the intention is to generate or create psychological satisfaction or get psychological satisfaction. So these are categorized on the basis of profit and non-profit oriented motives. So on examining, while we are going to examine the human activities, one can find that some of these activities produce direct economic benefits. Direct economic benefits, just you take a teacher teaching in a school. You can take a person working in an office, a person running a shop. You can talk about a doctor who is practicing in hospital. So these are the activities which are done by a doctor, by a lawyer, by a chartered accountant, by a teacher, in different concerns in different areas, just with a motive to create direct financial benefits, to create profit orientation, to generate profit for themselves. So these activities are categorized in the form of economic activities. While on the other hand, if we are considering other different type of activities or other activities other than the economic activities, they are not meant for creating direct financial benefits. They are not created with an intention to generate profit, just like cooking, playing games, playing sports, watching movies, roaming in a park, going to school, going to a temple. So these are different activities. These are those form of activities which are not made for profit orientation. So you can wholeheartedly say in a simple word that human is the real asset of any economy, any country, same as for the business concern. And different activities are performed, different activities are conducted by the human beings in their day-to-day life. So those activities which relate to or which are conducted, which are performed to generate financial benefits, which are done with a profit earning motive, they are considered to be economic activities. And those who are done for the sake of psychological satisfaction, mental satisfaction, they are considered to be non-economic activities. So here, if we talk about the type of human activities, it is broadly classified into two categories, that is economic activity and non-economic activity. So economic activity are those activities which are undertaken by the people with the objective of earning money, objective of earning profit. And these activities are basically concerned with production, exchanges, and distribution of the goods, of the services in the society. So the purpose of such economic activities should be expected or is expected to generate profit or to generate money income, which is further used, which is further utilized in the economy for the sake of development, for the sake of growth, for the sake of expansion, maybe of a personal individual or of a company concern. So those activities which are conducted, which are performed by the human elements, by the human beings, with an intention to create profit, generate profit, earn profit, then these are considered to be the economic activities. So we discussed right now, if we are producing goods or if human beings are indulged or are a part of production process or are a part of production activity of the goods and services in a factory, if they are distributing the goods from one organization to another, say from the manufacturer to the wholesaler, or from the wholesaler to the retailer, or from the retailer to the ultimate consumer, then these are considered to be economic activity. If a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher is practicing and performing different type of activities, then they are also performing these activities to generate income. So you can say that those activities which are related to, which are based on profit orientation, profit maximization, with the intention to generate money income, they are considered to be economic activities. So when we broadly classify or go in depth with the economic activity, there are further three more classifications और भी तीन तरीके के क्लासिफिकेशंस हैं इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी. तो इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी को फर्दर तीन पार्ट में क्लासिफाई किया गया, दैट इज बिजनेस, प्रोफेशन एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट. बिजनेस, प्रोफेशन एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट. So these are the further classifications, further divisions which comes in economic activity. First, second, and third. So let us discuss and let us continue our discussion in details regarding these three elements, which are the major part or important areas of economic activity. So when we talk about business, it is a very common term that you come across in your day-to-day life. And multiple times you have listened and you listen regularly that someone is doing business, your uncle is in a part of a business, he is running a very big business. So what the business is, What do you understand by this term? It is not a literary term. It is a very significant element of economic activity that we are going to discuss here today. So business basically refers to those economic activities in which production, purchases, marketing, sales, and distribution of goods and services are done. In which purchases, production, marketing, sales, and distribution of the goods and services are done. With what intention? With the intention of generating revenue, generating income. So any activity in which exchange of goods and services is done, sale and purchases of goods and services is done, production is done, manufacturing is done, marketing is done, sales is done, distribution of the goods and services from one place to another is being conducted, is being performed, then this type of activities are considered to be business activity. But mind it, the most important element is if such activities are not done for earning profit, then it is not a business. So there are another important elements that constitutes the business activities or business. If exchanges are done, production is done, purchase is done, marketing is done, sales is done, distribution is done on a regular basis, on a routine way for 365 days throughout the year, with a profit earning motive, then it is considered to be a business. अब यहाँ पे बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज आपको ध्यान देनी है। अभी विनय सर का या आशुतोष सर का या धीरेन्द्र सर का बहुत बढ़िया सा एक प्लॉट है, बहुत बढ़िया एक प्लॉट है जिसको आज उन्होंने डिसाइड किया कि मुझे पैसे की जरूरत है और कल जाके सुबह उन्होंने सेल कर दिया। तो मान लो कि 50 लाख में उन्होंने सेल किया, तो क्या मेरे किसी भी प्रॉपर्टी को सेल करना बिजनेस का हिस्सा माना जाएगा? क्या मैं अपनी प्रॉपर्टी को मैं सेल कर दे रहा हूं तो उसे हम बिजनेस कहेंगे? जिस प्रॉपर्टी को मैंने 30 लाख में खरीदा था, मैंने आज उसको 50 लाख में बेच दिया, मुझे तो प्रॉफिट हुआ 20 लाख रुपए। बट कैन वी कंसीडर इट अ बिजनेस? ऑफ कोर्स नॉट। वी कैन नॉट consider any instant exchange or event or transaction that is going to be beneficial for you, that may be beneficial for you at a particular state of moment as business. No, we cannot say. Why? What is the reason behind? Because I am not going to sell this property again and again on a routine way, on a regular basis. So when any activity regarding exchange, regarding sales, regarding purchases is done on a regular basis, on a routine way throughout the year with a profit earning motive, with a profit earning intention, then it is considered to be a business. This means that the people who are a part of property dealing, who deal in real estates, जो जमीन बेचने और खरीदने का काम करते हैं, जो प्रॉपर्टी डीलिंग का काम करते हैं, वो बिजनेस कर रहे हैं। लेकिन अभी विनय सर ने जाके अपनी प्रॉपर्टी को सेल करके और 20 लाख का फायदा कमा लिया, तो उसे हम बिजनेस नहीं कहेंगे, क्योंकि वो रेगुलर बेसिस पे नहीं। वो प्रॉपर्टी सेलर, वो प्रॉपर्टी डीलर बिजनेस कर रहा है क्योंकि वो 365 डेज खुद को इसी में इंडल्ज रखता है। हिज अर्निंग, हिज सेविंग, his expenditure, his profit comes on a regular basis, on a routine way throughout the year. So we can say that he is a part of business, or he is indulged in business, or he is conducting business. But Vinay sir is not going to be a part of that business because haphazardly need came to him, financial requirement came to him, and he went and sold the property, which gave a lump sum amount of money, a profit came to him, but it is not a routine activity. It is not a routine effort that is being dedicated by Mr. Vinay. So Mr. Vinay is not a part of the business. So let me repeat it once again, that business refers to, or business is that economic activity, because it is a part of economic activity. Why? Because there is a profit earning motive. So business is that part of economic activity in which we are doing different type of activities. We are producing the goods, manufacturing the goods. We are purchasing the inputs, raw materials. We are processing it, producing goods, maybe services. And further, we are marketing it. We are selling it. We are supplying it. We are distributing it. So such activities collaboratively together constitutes a business in which there is an intention to generate profit on a regular basis. So if regularity is there, if continuity is there, and such activity if continues on a regular basis and there is a profit orientation motive, profit maximization motive, then such activity is considered to be a business. Now let us proceed with the second point, that is profession. So what do you understand by the term profession? This is also a very common term with which you all are familiar. Every day we come across many things, many terms, out of which profession is another. So everyone wants to choose or be a professional, wants to choose a profession that symbolizes that they want to be a professional. Some want to be doctors, some want to be lawyers, some want to be chartered accountant. So what do you understand by this term profession? So basically profession refers to those activities which require specialized knowledge, special knowledge and skills which is to be applied by the individuals in their work, in their activities, or for generating income. So any activity which is done with a profit earning motive, but which requires highly skilled people, highly skilled intellects in order to perform that job, continue that job, or accomplish the work, then such an activity is considered to be a profession. A layman roaming on the road cannot be considered to be a professional, or he is not a part of any profession. But if a person is highly expertised, skilled, highly qualified, highly experienced in a particular dimension, in a particular area, and he is capable of utilizing his knowledge, his skill in a right way, in a perfect way, in a most suitable way, and is able to generate income for his livelihood, for his basic amenities, for his requirement, then we can say, of course, he is a professional. And such an activity in which specialized skill, knowledge, and talent is required to generate income, to create profit, to earn money, then such an activity is considered to be a profession. So the activities which are subject to profession are the guidelines, are the codes and the conduct that is laid down by the professional bodies. So how can you say who is a doctor? How can you say who is a lawyer? How can you say who is a chartered accountant? Can anyone who is handling the accounts is considered to be a chartered accountant? No. There are compounders who are working in the locality in small dispensaries running in our localities. Can we consider them a doctor? Never. A person putting a black coat, white collar, having files in his hand, and handling some of the issues, litigations in our locality can be considered to be a lawyer? Never. A person who is considered to be a professional or who is a part of any profession is a recognized intellect, is a recognized individual, is a considered individual who is having the best knowledge, who is having all the qualities, potentials, caliber in a particular area, in a particular dimension. So who will certify? The recognized institutions will certify. The bench of board of the law association will conduct the examinations time to time, and they will certify that yes, this person has qualified the examination with the apex level, and he is a suitable doctor, he is a suitable lawyer, he is a suitable chartered accountant, and they will certify such people. After then, they can work freely in that particular area. They can put their efforts in use in different companies, in different concerns, as well as they can also choose for self-employment. So they can be engaged for themselves also. They can utilize their knowledge for their growth, their development, or for the development of any organization or management system. So students, professional are those people who are highly skilled, highly qualified, highly expertise people, specialized persons who are having recognized degrees from recognized institutions. After going through different type of examinations, they become a professional. And such professionals, when they perform different type of activities in order to generate income, in order to earn profit or make money, then such activities are considered to be the professional activities. And such activity is wholeheartedly considered to be a profession. So let us take the examples of such. So when we are talking about a doctor, a lawyer, a chartered accountant, a principal, a teacher, so these are the people who are skilled, who are educated, who are certified at different institutions, and they are serving in different organizations as well as they can serve for themselves. So these are the people who are rendering their knowledge, putting their efforts, putting their skills in order to generate income, in order to generate revenue, in order to generate profit. So now let us proceed our discussion with the very third point, that is employment. So economic activity comprises of basically three things: business, profession, and employment. So employment is the third important integral element, integral part of economic activity. So let us discuss what do you understand by the term employment. So employment here refers to an activity in which an individual works regularly for another person, not person. Here person symbolizes, it may be a person, it may be an artificial person, means the company, the firm, the organizations, the institutions. For what? For getting remunerated, for getting being paid. So if any person, any individual is rendering, is putting, is devoting his best skills, knowledge and talent in a particular area for getting salary, for getting wages as per their skill, as per their knowledge, as per their qualification in a particular concern, in a particular organization, then such an activity is considered to be employment. But mind it should be on a regular basis. We cannot say a person throughout the year he is not indulged in any type of activity, and one day he thought that let me engage myself and earn something. So he went to a farm and there he put himself as a labor, and throughout the day he worked there, and at the end of the day he got a wage of 500 rupees. So that is not employment. So employment refers to an activity in which the individual work or individual must work on a regular basis to generate income, to get remunerations in return, payments in return. So people who are going to give the appointment and people who are going to work for them, are different from each other. Here there are two concerns. One is an employer, another is an employee. So who is an employer? Who gives the appointment, who hires the employees to let their work be done. Employer काम देता है. Who are the employees? Employees are those people who render their skill, who put their skills and knowledge to complete the work that has been assigned and given by the employer. To whom? To those individuals. So these group of individuals who will perform the task, who will accomplish the activities, the goals or task, responsibilities given by the employer are known as employees. So there are the employers and there are the employees. So employees are being paid. Employees are being paid by the employer. And these employees are considered to be employed if they are being paid on a regular basis for the efforts, for the activities that is being conducted by them, devoted by them. So here the remuneration paid by the employer to the employees is known as salary, or it is also known as wages. The people who are skilled, qualified, who are educated, and they are a part of activities related to educated profile, then they are paid the salaries. And those people who are less educated, who engage themselves as workers, as laborers, they are being provided with wages. So salary and wages are the remunerations, are the financial returns, are the financial rewards that are being provided by the employer to the employee. So here we can take examples like people working in bank are considered to be the employees, and they are employed because they are paid by the banking system or by the banks salaries on a regular basis according to their post. If a person is a cashier, if a person is a clerk, if a person is a manager, then they will get the remuneration, their salaries accordingly, according to the slab that is fixed by the government of India or the banking system of India, banking regulatory bodies of India. The person who are working in post offices, person who are working in the companies, person who are working in the insurance sectors, shops, the person who are the managers, person who are the clerks, person who are the salesmen, self-executives, all these people are considered to be the employees, and they are employed under an employer. And they are paid certain amount of reward, remuneration in return, according to their class, according to their educational background, according to their work, according to the slab that is fixed by the concern. The payments are given, the returns are given for the services, for the efforts that are being rendered by the people working under the employer. So this is about the economic activity, about the activities which are done on a regular basis to generate income, to generate profit. These are further classified in three elements, three aspects, that is business, profession, and employment. Now we are going to discuss regarding the non-economic activity. Non-economic activity are those activities which are undertaken by the individuals with a motive, with an intention of getting psychological satisfaction, mental satisfaction. And these activities are considered to be non-economic activities, which may be going to a temple. If you are visiting a temple, it does not mean anyhow that we are going to a temple to generate income. No, we are going to the temple to worship our God, to worship the Almighty, and to please ourselves, to satisfy ourselves, to get mental appeasement, mental satisfaction. So the visit to a temple If a teacher teaches his own son at home for earning profit? No, of course not. If a teacher is teaching his own son at home, it is for the sake of his personal psychological satisfaction, mental satisfaction. A mother feeding his own child is not for the sake of money, is not for the sake of generating income or profit. Rather, it is her duty, it is her loyalty towards her child to feed her, to make her feed it with, and to make him live, grow, and become strong. So the services, the activities vary from in these two ways. Some activities are conducted with a profit earning motive. On the other hand, certain activities are also conducted for mental satisfaction, psychological satisfaction. So the end result of the non-economic activity is of course not earning the profit or creating the wealth, rather it gives satisfaction. Rather it gives the mental satisfaction, psychological satisfaction. So when an activity is economic or non-economic, it depends upon the motive of the person, motive of the individual, whether it is done with a profit earning motive or whether it is done with a non-profit intentional motives. So when we are going to differentiate between the economic and non-economic activity, the first element, that is motive. So economic activity relates to profit earning intentions, profit maximizations, and wealth acquisition motives, whereas non-economic activity relates to self-satisfaction, psychological satisfaction. There is no possibility, no chance, no scope for profit orientation or wealth creation. So when we talk about the expectations of these two activities, then money income is expected from economic activity. Expectations for performing the activities, say economic activities, relates to wealth creation, relates to money income. Whereas if we talk about the non-economic activity, there is no such expectation of creating wealth or creating money income. So what is the purpose of doing the economic activity and what is the purpose of doing the non-economic activity? The main purpose of performing the economic activity is creation of wealth. Whereas non-economic activities are performed by the people just to get the psychological satisfaction, mental appeasement. And on the basis of this motive, on the basis of the expectations, on the basis of the purposes, these activities are broadly classified in two major areas, as economic and non-economic. And wholeheartedly, this economic and non-economic perception comprises the human activities. So human will have to perform the activities like economic and non-economic time to time, because they have sometimes financial needs, sometimes they have the psychological needs. So according to the need, according to the requirement, according to the need of the human concerns or individuals, they are drawn to perform these activities. Now, this is all about the today's discussion in the very first lecture, nature and purpose of business. We will discuss about the concept and characteristics of business with depth in the upcoming class. We will meet in the next lecture on a regular basis. And lastly, once again, I would like to say that due to poor connectivity, the class was not able to continue smoothly. So we hardly regret for the inconvenience created due to poor network connectivity and we have no control over it. Before going to wind up the class for today, I would like to ask you once again to follow the NCERT book and go through side books if required, if necessary. But the NCERT book is the most suitable book which is to be followed, to be undergone through in order to understand the chapter with more perfection, more smooth. Till then, thank you.